Hi, this is Jeff Schultz with Model Railroad Hobbyist Magazine here at the 2011 National Train Show in Sacramento, California. I'm here with Rob Pisani of Atlas, and he's going to tell us some of their new HO, N, and O-scale products.
Thanks, Jeff. We could start right now with the 42-foot coil steel car. We have it in all three scales, HO, N, and O scale. And we have a nice display here showing one of each, decorated for at least one road name on each run. They will be available, at least the HO one will be available in another, within about a month or so. N scale, it's actually just a test shot, even though it's a decorated model. So we believe the N scale model is still a few months out. And likewise with O scale, this is actually being premiered at the show. And it will probably not be available for several months, but they are attractive models. We also have an N and HO scale, the 85-foot trash flat car. We're calling it a trash flat car. It's actually a standard intermodal flat car that today is currently found in unit trash train service. We also make the 20-foot trash containers to go on the cars, and again, they're available in HO and N scale. The HO containers have been available now for at least a year. The HO car will be shipping hopefully in another month or so, and N scale is in the test shot stage, so it'll be several months for both the containers and the flat cars. Next up, which also was a debut at this show, is the N scale 89-foot ACF Intermodal Flat Car. It's this basically the same prototype as what we offered in HO scale now for the past year or two, and it will be available in the same configurations as the HO car. And you could reference our HO runs for various paint schemes that we've done and configurations of the deck and so forth. Next up is another brand new announcement at the show, the FMC 5077 cubic foot box car. We're doing an early and a late version. The early version, as you can see here, includes the early version has a wide end panel, and the late version has a narrow end panel, but it has the same number of panels otherwise. There's some neat features on here. There'll be a separate door guide, and of course, fine scale railings and so forth. Some interesting paint schemes. This car is I guess a mid-70s car, and if you're familiar with that era in railroading, you had this in what was called the IPD, or incentive per diem period, when short lines were buying up cars, knowing that they could make money on just revenue moves, even if the car wasn't used on their own line. So some examples, if I could recall off the top of my head, we had Escanaba and Lake Superior, Lake Erie, Franklin, and Clarion, Green Mountain, Clarendon, and Pittsford, both New England railroads, and as well as Railbox. And many of the Railbox cars were dispersed to other railroads over the years. And this is a Plate B car. I don't know if I mentioned that as a Plate B car, which is kind of unique. Most cars that have been offered in that configuration to date in the hobby have been Plate C. So there's been a lot of interest in this because of the fact that it is an earlier Plate B car, which will be appropriate for layouts in the 70s through present day, actually. And finally, we have the O-scale 62-foot bulkhead flat car. And much like the HO version, it will be offered in three configurations: just the flat car, the tall bulkhead, which you see here, and then also the short bulkhead. And this is another test shot. I wouldn't promise a delivery at this point. We'll probably have more information available soon on our website.
So will that be in the O-scale Trainman line then?
It is, and I'm sorry, I'm glad you pointed that out. It is an O-scale Trainman item.
And the FMC cars, are those Trainman, or are those Gold Line, or whatever you're calling the Master Series?
I should have mentioned that they are, the FMC car will be a Master Series. In HO and N, the trash flat car and containers are considered Trainman or Trainman Plus. And the Coil steel car is also a Master level item. And also, well, I didn't mention the 89-foot flat car, that's also Master level. Okay,
anything new in the way of track or other scenery products or houses, buildings?
We have some additions here to our laser cut line, some new additions in N scale. We've previously announced a lot of laser cut in HO and O scale. It started in O scale. So now we have some N scale items which I could show you. There's an N scale section house kit, and all N scale freight station, which actually looks very attractive. It includes a little platform, and something unique that's very common today, a self-storage unit, which I think comes in a pack of 2, and these are everywhere. And I don't know if anyone else agrees, but I tend to see these along rail lines wherever they go up. They seem to be located near a rail line, so I think it's an appropriate addition to the laser cut line.
Definitely. Any possibility of those showing up in HO at any time?
I believe they're in the works for HO as well. I think the section house may have been announced in HO. The others are new items. They should also be available in HO at some point in the future.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jeff.
And this is Jeff Schultz of Model Railroad Hobbyist Magazine with Rob Pisani of Atlas at the 2011 National Train Show here in Sacramento, California. Thank you.